my Lord. I really wanna see you, really wanna feel you, really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long. My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord. I really wanna know you, really wanna go with you, really wanna show you, Lord, I won't take long. So we're going to be getting started here in just a moment, but we'll wait for everybody to get on, and then we'll start discussing some things about our company and some of the things that you guys are going to be interested in about making money and why we do what we do. So just sit back here. In about 2 minutes, we'll get started. My sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, really wanna see you, really wanna see you, really wanna see you, Lord, really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long. My sweet Lord, Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here. So thank you very much for checking this out. This is going to be some interesting information for you, and it's going to be available for you to watch whenever you want to. And so based on that information and the things I'm going to share with you, you're going to be able to see some pretty neat ways of going about building your business and attracting customers, getting that customer loyalty that you're looking for, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of people ask me, Shane, I know you guys are pretty successful already. Why in the world would you ever do anything else that, would just create, an opportunity to overload yourself or have too much going on? And I tell everybody, say, as we've built this model and what we currently do and how successful we are with that, is that we really like to see the value in what we offer other people to be successful and to be able to bring them an opportunity to make money and to be in a position for financial freedom, to be able not to have to rely on working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Instead, they can build a business wrapped around this while they're currently working and eventually replace that income with this opportunity. And so people say, well, why do we do this? And I say, well, there's a lot of reasons why I do this, but here's one of the most important ones. Pictured right there, you can see there's three very, very important people to me. My lovely wife, Tracy, and my granddaughter, Susie, and my great niece, Addison. Those two little girls right there are the future of our world. And, some of the things that we look at doing while we are contemplating our next moves in our business and how we can help other people is by simply looking at the ones that we have around us right now and looking at all the things they're exposed to in this world and all the opportunities we have to provide them with something that can make their health and wellness better and be able to pass that on and educate other people, right? But one of the other things is that we want to make sure that we can bring others the very best natural skincare at affordable prices, things that are going to be easy enough for them that they can afford to do and not so burdensome in price for something that they have to buy all the time because it lasts for such a long time. We do it for our satisfied customers. You can see she's loaded down with products. And when we have our customers come into our stores and they buy like this, that tells you right there, she might be buying some gifts or things, but she uses a lot of these products herself, especially the oatmeal soap. And I got to tell you, this lady's been a customer of ours for close to 8 years. And she's probably a tenement to what we do because she's healthier now. She feels better about her life. Her and her husband both no longer use anything that's chemically produced. All these things are wonderful for them, and right in their own home, they can do this. And it's such a cost-effective way. She said that the soap lasts for such a long time that she very rarely sees to get things done here. So and so again, she's a very satisfied customer and enjoys what she does in buying our products. And so the other reason we do some of the things that we do is for the healthy choices and education that we provide for people who really want to learn more about being healthy living, healthy lifestyles, natural skincare, the ways that natural skincare will affect them and their family members. And our commitment to excellence. And everything that we do, we make it all. We make it all from scratch. We start, with basic ingredients, and we create the bases for all of our products, and we provide not only just the hands-on commitment to make sure that everything is right the first time, but to make sure that it's consistent. And because we have so many eyes on product, and that we basically hand label, we do everything by hand, that you're able to get the very best. And so that there's been so many people and so much love that goes into making this product. That's going to be, one of the things that I think is very important for people down the road to understand is that while we are not a tiny itty bitty company, we still do everything by hand, and we still are committed to that, and we'll always do it that way. We'll never change. Because not only does that provide opportunity for other people to work inside of the company and the corporation, but it gives you the peace of mind to know that we are actually doing it all. So outreach to our family, with our family, for our communities, our charities, to promote our values, culture, and faith is very important to us. We want to make sure when we step out into the public, that they see what we do and the value behind what we do and the faith that drives us to do the things that we do. As you can see here, a picture to the left is Sarah and Jen. Jen's my daughter, and Sarah's like my adjunct daughter. Wonderful girls, and they put forth the best effort every time they speak to the community about what we do as a company, and they do a wonderful job of promoting our company and the values that we have. And to the right, you'll see my daughter and I. We were actually at an Old World Festival. We had to dress up in older clothes. I kind of cheated a little bit. That morning was a little bit cold, so I had to wear a blue jacket. But, at this festival, people come in, they expect to see, natural things that were made by hand. And because we do that, and we've been doing this show for over 10 years, people really have that value to it. And they really know that when we commit to do something, that we do it all the way, and people are satisfied with what we do. And so I think that these are all extremely valuable cultural things that people really buy into with our company, because in the long run, it's truly about making sure that people enjoy the products at the end of the day, and make sure that people really realize that what we do is so important for them in so many other ways, right? So that to me is key, is making sure that our charitable goals are met, that we are promoting our values and culture and faith to the community, so they see that we are 100% committed to everything that we do and everything that we say. But one of the biggest things for me is this is a family tradition. It's been in my family since 1762, and that's my youngest son, Xander. And, it's been passed down from elder to child. I'm a 9th generation soap maker, and he'll soon be the 10th. And that's the one thing that you can never really put any kind of value on, is something that's been in your family for such a long time. And because we've decided to make this an opportunity, an income opportunity for people, and come out with these products, these premier premium products that we've created, I think is a value in of itself to go forth and speak to people about and say, listen, the tenet of this is that these things are going to make you healthier. You're going to feel better about what you're doing. You'll feel better about your purchase, because this is unheard of in this type of industry, to where you have the actual company, the depth of our company, the breadth of our company, and the knowledge base that packs into our company is unheard of from the time in the tradition of what we do. And so seeing these things and why we do what we do, I think, will maybe help people understand and have a better viewpoint of what their goals should be to help other people. Because, I really don't sleep well at night unless I know that there's something that I'm doing that's helping somebody. It makes me feel better about what I can do as a person, because I believe I was put here for a reason, and that is to help people. And so for me to be able to do that, I think is, it satisfies me. And so by helping everybody be successful and have a fruitful opportunities in life, and to do some of the things that I think is important for them to meet their financial goals, whether it's small or large, is me, again, allowing an opportunity or creating an opportunity to help others. And that's what I'm all about, is about helping others. So we'll be talking about the power of 3 tonight, and also about customers, and a couple different ways that you can succeed with Saponify Naturals. Because again, this is something that's time tested. This is something we did in our previous business careers with another direct sales company, so we know it works because we were the ones that succeeded in doing so, as well as other people. And so the sales that you're going to see listed below are in personal volume. And so you'll see over here that that's you. You go out and you sell $1,000 in your first month, or on a monthly basis. And then you sponsor and create 3 leaders in your first level that can kind of duplicate what you're doing in your sales, okay? And so they say, well, what exactly is it that I need to do here? And you say, well, you just do what I do, and we're going to be successful, right? And so understand that if you average you can average making 30 sales a month. Our average sale is $35, and that's $1,050 a month. So that's what I'm basing this on, okay? And this is a low average, because I'm sure that you could do much better than this, because the average, an average direct salesperson is doing about 90 sales a month, okay? And that's 90 individual tickets. It could be 10 shows or events or whatever, but they're selling at least 90 people, okay, in that realm. That's a minimal average, right? And so based on what you see here, you got yourself, and then you got 3 people in your level. That doesn't mean you have to only have 3 people in your level. You could have 10, and you could have 20, but you need to have 3 leaders that can duplicate and do what you do, right? And so duplication is the key, because if they do what you do, then you'll see in their levels, it bounced down, and they've got their 3 in each one of theirs, right? And so that creates this paradigm where you're building the leadership at all levels. And this is something that's going to benefit you tremendously on the back end of this for your overrides as you do this. Okay, so the duplication is key. You teach them, they teach others. And you teach them that power of 3. That doesn't mean that they have to stop at 3. They could duplicate that, and they could compound that twice and have 6 people doing 1,000, and then do it that way. It doesn't matter, but I just do this because this is the simplest form. This is how we were successful, by narrowing it down to the simplest of measurements for us to stay focused on what we do. And if you can do the exact same thing with their team, I'm telling you right now, your success levels will be tremendous. And so you see here, they go out and do the same thing, right? And so they've got their 3. In each group, they build that out. And so you've got yourself at 1,000. You teach those 3 people how to do what you do by selling 1,000, sharing it with others, getting the opportunity out there for them to do the same thing, and then they do it. They sell their 1,000, etc. And you see how that builds. I didn't go any further than this, but we'll talk about it on this next page here. And at this point, you're 3 levels deep, with each leader duplicating the same success that you're doing. It's not that difficult to do, trust me. 30 sales a month. I mean, everybody knows 30 people. You build your customer base, this happens, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But you can see it's like compounding interest. The more effort and energy that you put into training leaders and have them duplicate what you're doing and being successful with it, the better off you're going to be, okay? And you'll see large numbers like you've never seen before. And some people may say, well, I don't know if I can achieve that. That's scary to me, or that's overwhelming to me. But I got to tell you, some people, it may be, but others, we did this, and we did it in roughly about 9 months. And so it is definitely duplicatable. And so here you see that when you're working at this particular level, you have your own personal volume, and then you have a group volume. Based on what you see right here in this group volume, with one more level on it, that's level 4, they're treated out, you've got 1, 3, 9, 27, and then you'd have 81, okay? And so with what you have here is a ridiculous amount of sales, okay, that you put out, but you have no effort in that other than training those 3 people in your front line to be leaders. Now you may hold some conference calls and you may give some extra training to their level 2s or level 3s, but it's a benefit to you because if you do that and spend the 30 minutes on the phone with this group and allow them the opportunity to see exactly what it is that you can achieve and show them how easy it is to duplicate that, and then give them the tools necessary to do it, which we're going to provide all that. It's all going to be in the Consultant Learning Center. So this is not something that's going to be difficult for you to be able to find, right? Your earnings, $400 at 40%. On your $1,000, your group volume earnings, $2,790. At this point, you're also a diamond. So you can add on an extra $1,000 for your diamond leadership bonus. And also, if you do that, you would also then have a double override bonus, or in other words, your group volume total bonus would be $6,980. That's the $2,790 doubled plus $1,000. Now, how in the world can you go somewhere else and make this kind of money? And here's how it calculates out. So you make that money to the left. You see on this left-hand side, your first level, second, third, and fourth, which I didn't list the fourth because it wouldn't fit on the screen. But you make 3% on the first 3 levels and 2% on the last one. So your overrides just for training 3 people in your front level to duplicate what you're doing at one point in time as it builds, you're going to see that kind of money rolling in. And that is amazing because that's some people's dual income for both of them working outside of the home. Your leadership bonus, your peer diamond bonus. Now what the peer diamond bonus is basically if you're a diamond, you've reached your maximum level and you have another peer inside of your group in your first level that hits diamond in your first level, okay, it has to be your first level, then you get a double bonus, okay? That'll never be taken away from you. You'll always get that double bonus. Your earnings for the month are $6,980 total. I got to tell you, to me, that's impressive. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're going to average $87 an hour working between 60 and 80 hours, and I calculated that at 80 hours. Because I can guarantee you, if you follow these time frames, you can achieve this in that time frame. That's 80 hours a month, and not a week, not every 2 weeks, in a month. Now you can put in as much time or as little time as you want, and then guess what? Your success will vary, and your results will vary. But the effort you put into it is going to be based on these things here that I've put. But here's your investment. This is the funniest part of it all. You go into business. You start your own business for $150. That's your kit. It's $10 and some change to ship total, so about $160 with your tax and everything. A pointing link, to make it simpler for your people to get to your website is completely optional. It's $10 a year. And then you can do SenseShare, which is an amazing way to post and to communicate on Facebook and schedule things way ahead of time. It minimizes your need to have to sit on there and type a lot. You can just sit and answer questions and do some things. Which is, again, optional. But for $10 a month, you can have this amazing platform to do all these things on. And so for me to tell you that that's something you should probably integrate to use, I'm going to suggest that you do, but it's not something you have to do. So you could potentially have a total investment of $170, and then $10 a month. Now that's nuts. I don't know anywhere else you can go get in business for that kind of money, okay? I mean, I don't think you could start a good, decent lemonade stand on the street corner for that kind of money and make anything even close to what you can make in here. So I talked about your time investment. Remember, time is the most important and valuable resource that you have. So you're going to average between 60 to 80 hours a month. That's customer contact is the bulk of that. 20 to 25 hours of customer contact, setting up sales, shows, book shows, home shows, Facebook shows, or just selling directly to your customers, right? Or taking your catalogs out and customer interactions, et cetera, et cetera. You have social media interaction for about 30 hours. Now look, You're already on Facebook anyways, right? So why not utilize that to make money? Remember what I said, time is your most valuable resource. If you use your time wisely and use it effectively, you're be surprised at what your results will be, okay? And then your back office administration, putting your orders in, making sure that everything's done, checking on numbers to make sure they're right, making sure people are being taken care of, looking at anything that might seem that needs addressed or attention. You have about 10 to 15 hours a month in that, okay? If you're in the back office more than that, you're just back there goofing around and you're not really being effective in the other areas there and not really use your resources and time properly. And so, my recommendation, you may be on a little bit more at the beginning just to kind of learn how to navigate through the administration of the back office and things. But overall, you really don't need to be back there much more than 10 to 15 hours a month because it doesn't take that long to do things. But like I said, initially, maybe a little bit longer. You're going to have some direct selling time where you're going to spend with your customers, interaction, 15 to 20 hours maybe. And that's going to be like on Facebook, doing some live stuff, pre-taping and enrolling and scripting some things out, answering some questions, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't take much more time than that. And so you've got 80 hours a month to make about $7,000 a month or about $87 an hour. That's pretty daggone good. And so, in conclusion with the power of three, I don't want you to feel like you're overwhelmed by any of the information that you had there before, because while some of you, don't necessarily have goals like that, others do. We got to support both sides of this, okay? For those of you who don't have those types of goals, you don't want to work at building a big team up like that or whatever, you still want to have a team, you still want to make overrides, but you want to work it at your own pace, et cetera, you can still eventually hit the power of three conclusion and the power of three success, with just simply doing it over a period of time. Sometimes it's the tortoise and the hare. You can be the tortoise in the race. That really doesn't matter. The longer it takes, the harder it is, though. The longer you push at doing something like this, while other people are being successful around you, sometimes creates a vacuum, and it's very difficult to be successful when you have a lot of other people that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing. And so what my recommendation is that as you see this, if you feel like it's something that you can attack, then we'll set up a meeting, with you, lay out the groundworks for you, and kind of give you the path to do it. And then here's the thing. This was achieved within 9 months. We did it in 9 months by sheer desire, will, and good old-fashioned hard work. We rolled our sleeves up, we set our goals, and we started going after those goals to achieve them. It was all about time management and the resources that we had around us to utilize. But there is another way for you to be successful with Saponify Naturals that doesn't really require that team building, and things of that nature. But I'll tell you what, it's always good to have the team building in there because that's a support structure that you have. Other people that have like-minded goals that are trying to achieve some financial freedom or just some small, financial goals. But you have people that you can talk to, and it creates a peer group. It's friends, it's social, and it's good for you because everybody needs people to talk to, especially when you're all talking about the same thing, because it really helps to generate ideas, be creative, think about things that we may not be thinking of, give suggestions to the corporate office about things that we may be able to change that might be better for you, things like that right there. But, there is another way to achieve this through the process of selling. Is you set your sights high and execute a sales plan that generates thousands of dollars a month. And we'll be discussing that a little bit further here tonight. But, Zig Ziglar once told me this, and I remember this like it was yesterday. He told me that sales cures all your ills. And so if you need to make money, go out and sell Saponify Naturals products, and you'll make money. It's that simple. But your customer base is the most important thing, whether you're team building or not. Okay, because without customers, you're not making sales. Without sales, you're not hitting your sales objectives, and also your requirements in order to receive some of the benefits that go along with the override process. Okay, and so benefits of customers is long-term financial stability. Where else does cash flow come from initially? I mean, it just doesn't come from nowhere, right? It has to come from somebody, and that's your customer. It creates repeat business, which is consistent cash flow in the long term. It also has, that relativity to it. For each customer that you bring on, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but it's potentially, tenfold. All right, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. The cash flow is the name of the game in sales because as you're generating sales, that cash flow starts rolling in, And that's where your stability and your financial stability comes in play. But it also gives you credibility in your field, right? And so you're selling natural skincare through Saponify Naturals, and the more customers that you have, whom you start educating about natural skincare, et cetera, then they become more confident in you. They become more confident in the product, and then they will have no problem sharing that with that tenfold customer base that could be potentially out there for you, with their family and their friends. Sometimes you got to get through the gatekeeper in order to get to the kingdom, right? And so sometimes you have to think about it that way. And what it all means to you basically is really simple. So you can realize an amazing income by just building a customer base and providing excellent customer service, because that's one thing that we thrive on is excellence in customer service. We want to make sure that everybody feels as though they're the most important thing in your day, that they're welcome, they're wanted, they're important. And if you make people feel that way, then I can guarantee you'll be successful, because that's the one thing that people want and for, but very rarely ever get, and is excellent customer service. But using all the techniques at your disposal, including Facebook, your home shows, your book shows, direct customer interactions for sales, things of that nature, all makes it better, right? It all makes growing the customer base easier, dealing with your customers easier. All those things are going to matter. And so I've got a chart here, and like I told you before, we're going to talk a little bit about customer success, okay? And some of the things that kind of go along with it. And so you average, like I said before earlier, when we were talking about that $1,000 a month in the team building for Power of 3, our average customer sales around $35, okay? Our average customers a month, around 90. Now, this is what that is. 3 customers per day, okay, in 30 days in a month. You can make 3 sales a day, 30 days a month. Now, that can average out. One day you might not make any sales. One day you might make 6, okay? What I'm telling you is if you focus on building a customer base, you'll build a customer base. If you focus on doing too many things at once, then you're going to lack in all areas. And so you really have to make the determination up front exactly what you want to do. If you want to be a team builder and a leader and try to achieve that diamond bonus, try to achieve that diamond level, and try to build that massive business and help others do the same thing and duplicate that, then you're going to have to really focus more on sharing the opportunity and then on the secondary customer base, right? Because you have to get in front of people in order to do that. So when you're doing your shows, that's your customer base. You may not have 90 sales a month, but that's okay, because you're not looking at the sales you're looking at $1,000 in sales to achieve some basic income and to hit your requirements to make your overrides, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm showing you here is that if you're on the other side of that, where you're, I really don't want to deal with people like that. I want to just be I just want to be the number one salesman in the company. I want to go out and I just really want to push, build that customer base, satisfy those customers the best way that I can. Then you're going to create what's called a repurchase ratio and a customer retention ratio and repatriation ratio. And what that is really simply means in financial terms and in commercial terms for retail is this. If you have 90 customers in 1 month and you have a customer retention ratio at 1.68, which is the retail average, that means for every one person that starts doing business with you, you'll generally generate at least 30% more business with other people that are associated with that single person. And so you take 32% roughly to add to that. All right, I'm going to round that off in this deal. So 32%. That's what you'll gain in that. And so in the first month, you see you do $35 on average per sale. At 90 sales, you're going to do about $3,150 in retail sales. You're going to make about we'll say 30% on that. So you're making $945, and you're putting about 40 to 50 hours a month into this, by the way, okay? And I did this on a 12-month scale, but you can kind of see what your income would be putting in this type of hours, right? So first of all, let me touch on this. That earning is $3,150 and 30%, $945 your first month doing that business, okay? Now you may not hit that right off the bat, but you'll get there. Now here's the great thing about it. On the second month, you're not going to have to think about repurchasing at that point. Now you may get a few, but I'm using some basis here, okay? The basis is the second month, you still have the 90 customer build. You'll have 180 customers at that point, because you're always looking for new customers. Do not put all your eggs in one basket, okay? This is the one thing I talked about earlier in the time management thing, in the time management training course, is that if you try to do one thing and try to master that one thing, that's great. But listen, all avenues of financial stability at one point in time or another fail. So you have to make sure that you keep every aspect open in this by building new customers all the time. By building those new customers and building those relationships and getting the rapport established, providing excellent customer service, you're going to have a very successful business, even if it's just on the retail sales side of it, all right? And so the same numbers are consistent through the second month, where you have the 90 sales, the $3,150 in retail, and the $945 in commission. Now it starts getting interesting on the third month, because you start getting the repatriation ratio starts to kick in. You're getting new customers coming to you from just the customers that you've already established good rapport and customer service with. They're coming to you automatically because of word of mouth, okay? Then you're also getting some repurchasing at that point. And so you take that 180 customers that you have now, right? Add another 9270, 30% of that added on to the 90 new customers that you have for the month, generate sales of $5,355, okay? Now you can probably figure this out if you're decent in math. But you're looking at basic earnings at that point of $1,607, and the same 40 to 50 hours, of work and effort, no different, right? Because they're going to your website, you're dealing with or interacting with them strictly either through the social media. You may do a show here or there, okay? I'm not saying that doesn't happen. You might do 3 or 4 a month. It doesn't really matter. You're still only putting 40 or 50 hours a month into earning $1,600, right? And so you're kind of going to flatline that next month as well, because you're really still building the customer base up, right? And so another 153 customers that month, $5,355 in retail sales, $1,607 in your commissionable earnings, and only 40 to 50 hours that you've invested in that. Now, the fifth month, and from that point out, is when it really gets interesting, because in the fifth month, you're going to have 198 customers that month. That's repatriation ratios kicking into play. That's the repurchasing ratio kicking into play, and the 90 new customers, right? And so the 90 new customers that you have that are coming into it is actually less than the word of mouth customers that will be coming to you based on the rapport and the established relationships you have with their friends, and the repurchasing that people are going to be doing, replacing products from month 2 and month 3. And so you see that your sales will then jump up to $6,930. Your earnings will be in the ballpark of around $2,079, and the commissionable total is at 30%, the same amount of energy and time at 40 to 50 hours. Now you can see this, how it snowballs all the way down to the 12th month. This is the great thing about that. You know, you've for the year generated 1,080 ticket sales at $35 on average. You've generated $101,745 in sales, and you've made commissionable earnings of $30,526, and you've spent between 480 and 600 hours generating those sales. The average person that works at a full-time job today at 40 hours a week is working 2,080 hours, and this is right in line with what they make. I want you to think about that. You're spending less than a third of the time to make equal money. Amazing. I'm serious. If you cannot look at this and then say to yourself that that is the most amazing thing that you've ever heard by simply building customer base, by simply doing that. Let me explain how this works and why I know that anybody could achieve this. We started our company in 2005 as a wholesale business. As a wholesale business, all we did was go sell to other businesses. And so our growth ratio was very small, because when we sell to one business, they have a finite amount of product, and they don't replenish that product and order new product until they need it. And so we're not getting that repatriation ratio with wholesale sales, right? Well, then we had the financial meltdown in 2008, and my wife and I got the great and grand idea that we were going to go retail in a financial meltdown, right? And so because of that, we got into a position where we said, okay, we're either going to go for it, make it work, or we're not. And so we decided that we were going to make it work, and we did it. And that very year, we generated well beyond 1,080 sales, okay? We were doing between 50 and 80 sales a week for customers. in a small, tiny location, which was retail, but it had overhead attached to it, which cost more money than your investment into this. We had employees that we had to pay. We had taxes that we had to pay, and all the other things that go along with retail. And so when you think about the value of this and say, my gosh, how in the world could I ever do this and not have the overhead and not do all those things that a lot of people think you have to have a brick and mortar store for, and all the other things that kind of go along with that. Now, what I'm telling you is this. That first year in business, okay, we destroyed what you see here on the screen. It wasn't even close. If you have any type of social skills, in other words, you can walk up to somebody and say, hi, my name is Shane. I would love to introduce you to some products that I think would benefit you and your family. That person would probably look at you and either say, well, I'm not interested or whatever. Now, I'm not saying that you walk up to total strangers and do this, but what I'm saying is if you can walk up to anybody and just say, hi, my name's Shane, how are you doing today? If you can do that and feel comfortable about doing it and don't feel like you're invading somebody's space or whatever the case may be, then you have the built-in capabilities of becoming a great salesperson. Now, what I'm trying to express to you is this, is that the numbers, they're not there to scare you. They're there to show you potential. You can rewrite this graph based on your abilities. It can be lower or it can be much higher. It all depends on really what you want to succeed and how you want to do it. But with what I'm telling you and what the values that you have here are all dependent upon you, all dependent upon your sheer will, drive, desire, and determination to succeed, and how hard you're willing to work. Okay. My thought process on this is that if I was not doing this, and I didn't own this company, and I wasn't giving you the opportunity to do this, and this company came to me and showed me these numbers, I would be like, yeah, when do I sign up? I'm signing up today because I can do that. 90 sales in a month. That's 3 a day. You could have a fundraiser or do something, give away some of your profits or whatever to hit these numbers, to build that customer base. Look, we did all sorts of crazy things at the beginning, back in our direct sales days. My wife and I created all sorts of neat little prizes and awards and customer building tools to things just to get people to remember that, if we're going to have a party, we want Shane and Tracy to do it because they're a lot of fun. And they come in and all the girls that I invite to my home love to have them there to do that. Now listen, that's an old model, okay? Now you can still do the home show and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's still a great way of doing things and getting in front of a lot of people at once. But what I'm telling you is, with the way that social media is now with Facebook and things of that nature, the live shows and all of that, we're building tools right now to help you succeed on that marketplace. And you know what? We're already having girls do live shows. We're already having Facebook events. We're doing all these things on there to establish that. Let me just tell you this. When you're watching this, now Thursday night of this week, now that's going to be the 1st of June, Thursday night, we're going to be doing a live Facebook event on the Saponify Naturals party page. Tracy and I will be doing that for you. You'll see Tracy showing you the products and talking about it. I'll be on manning the comments section and making sure that I'm answering questions as you guys go through it, because you can see how to really establish a nice live event to get people involved and to show them how to progress from point A to point B. Because one of the most important things is, by having a live event, you need to have an exit strategy for those people when they leave that to go somewhere and make their purchases, right? And so what we want to do is show you how to do that and how to manage that effortlessly and seamlessly in order to accomplish these sales goals. This, again, and like I said, these values here are established based on minimums, retail minimums. There are people, think about it like this, okay? I don't care if you're selling a hot dog or a three-piece suit, okay? The values are values. The people that sell the suits sell 90 customers a month. The people that sell the hot dogs sell 90 customers a month, right? It's not because they put a barrier on themselves or limit themselves. They just know they got to go out and make the sales and go out and establish their customer base. Well, if I went and bought the three-piece suit and I really liked the person I bought it from, i.e. customer service and excellent customer service, and then I loved the product when I got it, i.e. I liked the way the suit fit me, and I love the color, and I knew that they could make other colors, and I know that that guy is reliable, I'm going back to that person again when I'm going to buy my next suit, or I'm going to go him to get my shirt, or whatever the case would be, and add on other products that are within their line, right? And so you establish that rapport with your customer, you establish the base with your customer, and you see that you can build the customer base easily. And trust me, sometimes you think it's not easy, but it really is easier than you think. By just simply talking to people, by asking for the sale, by establishing goals for yourself and saying, I'm not going to stop until I hit this number this week. Now, if you think about it from this point of view, it's 21 sales a week, right? Roughly. If you're doing 3 a day and there's 7 days in a week, all right, it's 4 weeks, or you say 30 days in a month, and you want to break that down, let's say do it in fives or something, in 6, you got to do 18 sales every 5 days. Now, you may do 9 sales in one day and none another day. I'm not saying that you have to do 3 a day. I'm just saying that that's the number. That's this is your ultimate goal right here, is to hit that number. And to say, okay, well, I'm going to do, 10 sales. On Saturday, I got a show. And so that's knocking out 10, but I got 8 more to make up or whatever. However it works out for you, whatever it fits into your schedule, however you can make it work, even if you're working a full-time job and you add on, 480 to 600 hours, but you're adding on $30,000 more dollars to your bottom line at your home and your pocketbook, I guarantee you're going to be able to take the trips that you want to take. You're going to be able to help your kids with any financial things that they need, braces, whatever the case may be. All that stuff can be taken care of very simply by doing this. And here's the great thing, and this is the one thing I think people fail to understand, is that you have customers in your own home and potential consultants in your own home. You may have sons or daughters that see you do this, right? And they say, wow, my mom makes a lot of money, and I don't know how she does it, but I want to learn more about that because she's having a lot of fun doing it. She loves what she does. I love the product that she's bringing home and that we're using inside of our own home. I want to be a part of that. You can really change thought processes here and lifestyles. Again, like I said, there's a reason why we do this, okay? And I express that here. 1 is my son. 2 is family. Our commitment to excellence. For your health, and healthy choices and education. We do it for our satisfied customers. These people don't keep coming back in and buying like this from us if they didn't love our products and didn't trust what we do was in their best interest and didn't trust that what we tell them is true. Because we've established ourselves, we've been in business since 2004, okay? And we do this because I love my family. I want my family to be healthy, and I want them to have the right choices in life. And the things that they need, I can provide because I have the ability to do that. So I can provide that vehicle for you to get where you need to be by selling the best premium all-natural skincare. And again, I'm going to touch on this, at affordable prices. If you compare the prices of our products to other natural skincare products on the market, you're going to see that you're getting better product for much less money. Okay, that's the key. And when you're talking to people about what it is, you can say this is an all-natural skincare company that sells on a direct sales platform. You can make money doing it, and they want you to make money. They want to provide you with all the benefits to make money and all the tools to make money. We do a training session every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock live. That's saved. It goes into the Consultant Learning Center. There'll be training videos on products that will be put in there very soon. We're working on those right now. There's all sorts of things in there for paperwork that you can use. There's the $1,000 show paper, the 40 paper, how to have successful book shows. All of those things are in the back office there, or not the back office, but in the Consultant Learning Center through Saponify Naturals website. And you can get into the Consultant Learning Center by using the password Saponify with an @ and you'll be able to get right in there for that. And you'll see everything that we have back there for you to use. And so this concludes tonight's lesson. And I hope you guys all learned something from the Power of 3, the type of financial opportunities that provides, and then an option if you don't want to have to try to build a team to be able to develop customer base and establish a strong sales cash flow that provides you with decent income, but put it in minimal hours. So I hope this kind of meets your goals, meets your needs. You can comment me on this. You can send me information if you have any questions on it. I just want you guys to remember, I'm here for your success. I want you to be successful, but you have to have a little bit of desire, will, and you got to be willing to put some effort and work into it to get there. So thank you very much, guys, and we will talk to you later. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.